today for the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency prices. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this is a very short video, yet a very, very important one. You are reading this title right. Bitcoin, I was wrong. Well, let's talk about that. I want to talk about and update you about my vision, my strategy on Bitcoin, on crypto, which is an updated one, of course. I want to go straight into it. And as you maybe saw, 2 days ago or so, I posted that I closed my short-term trade on Bitcoin, Ethereum, closed just the short-term ones. The long-term one still, I think, 12, 13, 14 million dollars in a profit or something. The short-term one I closed at 800,000 US dollars on Bitcoin. I posted that one over on Twitter as well as an update. So now people ask me, Chris, what has changed? Why are you closing your trades? You're usually not closing your trades. Well, one thing I wanted to mention here is, and that is something which I was wrong about, right? And I was not necessarily wrong about Bitcoin. I mean, we as a community, we made much more bank than any other community. I think by focusing on Bitcoin, not holding any altcoins, having 80-90% of our portfolio in Bitcoin, focusing on the long term with trading and with investing. And I think most people who went into altcoins or into day trading, they basically lost money, right? It's unfortunate, but this is just how the market goes. It's designed to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people most of the time. That is also what Da Vinci is saying. So I didn't change anything on my long-term approach and on my Bitcoin approach. I'm still holding most of my money in Bitcoin, right? My short-term trades, I, however, closed. And I had to realize I was wrong, mostly on a macro or political perspective, because as we all know, I mean, you guys know that I didn't support, but I support, okay, we can say it like this. I supported Donald Trump more than the other parties, and I would still say that it's the better choice. But we have to admit that no politician is to be trusted, and that it's, even though it's probably it was the best choice, it was still a very bad choice, right? And what we saw is just after he got elected, I mean, I thought it might be the best choice because there will not be any war. Boom, what happened? Ukraine, Russia didn't stop. Then we had the 12-day Iran war or whatever, which definitely was a new one, right? So there's not this virginity anymore. And that is one of the reasons why I closed my short-term trades. And short-term, even though we got a great bounce afterwards, we got this ceasefire agreement and all of that, beautiful. And I really hope it stays. But we see how quickly we can see uncertainty. And even though we didn't grow up with war, very quickly it can also come over to the Western world. I remember a few hours long, there was even flights canceled in Dubai, right? And that's the place where I'm living. So we have to realize there is uncertainty. And long term, I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was created for that purpose. Short term, we have to hedge our bets. I am still holding my long-term trade on Bitcoin. I am still holding my Bitcoin because, again, Bitcoin was created for that exact scenario, for central banks failing, for economic uncertainty, and unfortunately, yes, for wars also. And I'm not changing anything about that. But short term, it means for me, it doesn't matter if the price went up the last day or 2 days or something, or it will go up the next 2 days. Short term, it's uncertainty. It means for me risk off. It means for me even less exposure to altcoins, even less exposure to short-term trades, more exposure to long-term trades, more exposure to long-term trading. That is my approach right now. And you do let me know, please, dear ladies and gentlemen, what you think about that. I am still holding Bitcoin. I still think Bitcoin is going to millions of US dollars, but short term, it's for me risk off at the moment. Let me know what you think about that, dear ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, and we are going to see you very soon at the next of MMCrypto. As always, guys, as always, bye.